I'm not going to say a single word about the Tennessee Titans record against the Indianapolis Colts because I was a punter, and there's no reason for me to talk about that. With that being said, we did not punt much against the Tennessee Titans, so you probably have no clue who I am to begin.
Look, I'm unstoppable. Forget your defense, nothing but an obstacle. Run it back, switch it up, call it audible. Serving up them Hail Marys till the game over with the showstopper. So hot, you gotta blow on it. I said I'll huff and I'll puff, then I'll pass to my left while I'm looking to my right. Hit him right in the chest. It be looking like magic, better give me the throne. I ain't talking about Patrick, but I rep my home. I'm never at the end of my zone. I'm bad to the bone, eating up these pig skins like they chicharrones, and you a douche cabron. Mira, mira at the mirror on the wall. I'm the greatest of them all. They gon' put me in the hall. Your name is only written in a bathroom stall. Quit your stalling and make a play. My drive too long, pop the clutch, I don't pump the brakes. I know what it takes to gain the muscle, get rugged. These butterfingers be fumbling, squash a scrimmage and rub it in Robitussin. How I give them concussion, they see in double, they rushing and pass the shovel, the dirt and rubble, I bury them under it. Stay in your huddle and get 10 yards back, never turn your back. I'ma pull your flag, I go full contact, out punch, out kick like a shotgun.
Welcome back. I know it's been a wild playoff weekend. We saw some really close games, and we saw one particular AFC shellacking. So, I'm not going to get.
I'm very happy about it.
Hey, listen, I know you are. There's some fans out there of a certain team that only scored 10 points that will say otherwise. But you know what? They had a good run. All right.
Harish, can you share the screen of the tweet that I posted the other day?
Oh no. Oh no.
What's your Twitter?
The HorseShoe Mob page.
I can already tell this is going to go badly.
Let me see.
You just out here just throwing audibles, huh, Josh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like Peyton Manning.
Oh no, I saw this one though. Hold on, we're gonna get to this. Let me make sure. Yep. Okay. That's the right screen. Yeah, that's the right screen. I saw this one.
Yo.
It's the one with Jason Kelsey.
Yo. Oh, not that one. Yeah, that's.
Oh, this is great. This is good times.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, this is excellent. By the way, while you're here, shameless plug. Follow us on Twitter at LHFanBattle. Thanks. That's all I have.
By the way, just really quick, Ryan Williams canceled his visit with Texas.
Yeah, he canceled the visit with Texas. Texas says you're not playing as a freshman, so he decided to go to Bama where they don't have any wide receivers, so he'll just play there instead.
Because they have enough Lamborghinis to give out, so they just
ran out for the year. Yeah, Lambo said we don't have any more for this season. He'll probably transfer in next year though. Stark will go next year.
Yeah.
After he sees DeBoer go 6-6, Stark will transfer him in.
We're going undefeated.
Undefeated.
Okay. Undefeated. Okay. Who's your quarterback?
All right. You know what? We're not doing this.
Oh, no.
We're not doing this. Welcome back to the HorseShoe Mob podcast, where we're coming to you with everything Colts. And you know what? We almost got off track here, but you know what? Let's get back on track here, especially since this one, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the season finale for the HorseShoe Mob, but not the season finale like we're going to go on hiatus until the draft and all that. We're still going to be here, but we're going to be doing some things, interacting with fans a little bit more, doing a little bit more in the Twitter spaces. So, yeah. But in the meantime, before we go ahead and get into all that, just want to get into the guys. So, first and foremost, pause. Yeah, I paused that. You saw that. I paused that quickly. All right, we're not doing that. Okay,
You're not giving to me, buddy.
We're gonna introduce the guys. It's gonna introduce. I had to make sure because I saw it. I saw it out the corner of my eye. I'm just like, wait. Let me go ahead and correct myself right now. So yes, let's introduce the guys. So we have with us first and foremost Austin Cook. Everybody.
Yep. What's up? I'm Austin.
Yes, we have everyone's favorite Sam Darnold truther, Harish Nukal. Everybody.
Hi, I'm Sam Darnold Truther.
It's all love, Harish. Like I said, every now and
Sam
then.
Darnold would have been great under a potato head.
You sure about that?
I mean, look. Well, maybe he would have been great under Shane Steichen. Look what he was able to do with Gardner Minshew.
I mean, I think with Gardner Minshew, that was enough. Sam Darnold, we probably would have had a real shot at MHJ with pick 3.
I don't understand what the problem would have been.
And then we have with us a man who changes Twitter handles more than I would like. Josh Senior, everybody.
Was good about it, and I'm one of the guys that he would not be getting into.
Oh, see, first off, I paused that one. Okay, I just want to let you know I paused the hell out of that one. So you need to relax, buddy. All right.
You're not gonna PD to me, man.
Hey, yo. Hey, listen, you're going into dark territory. You're gonna get us a cease and desist.
Oh my God. Okay.
All right, and I'm Chris Jackson. So now that we're past all that nonsense, Blue Nation says, "What's up? What's up, Blue Nation? Glad to have you here." But yeah, man, like I said, we've come to this portion of the season where, like I said, it's playoff time. Like I said, just coming back, making sure that, you know, like I said, just retooling. Then also, like I said, you'll also be hearing from us on Spaces. We'll have the announcement for times, or date and time, days and times. So this way we'll be able to do. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and just get into right now. First and foremost, www.fanbattlesports.com. Make sure you're going there for all content. Make sure it's articles, bios, past episodes, everything that you need. AFC South, well, primarily the Colts, because, you know, who wants to see stuff about the Jags? Not me, not you, apparently.
Not their mid quarterback. Yeah.
Oh, mid, the generational one.
Yeah, the generational mid.
Generationally
Imagine
mid.
Jacksonville comparing him to Andrew Luck. Couldn't be
Would
us.
you guys are skipping past the guy at quarterback in Houston that put up 10 points the other day?
Well, he put up 3.
Oh, sorry, 3. I'm sorry, defense. I mean, the special teams put up the other.
He's still better than Trevor Lawrence.
Oh yeah, agreed.
No, yeah. I mean,
I
think that's the general consensus. But yeah, so here's something that I think we need to discuss, right? So all over Twitter, social media in general, everybody's talking about, you know, the news cycle with, you know, what it's going to look like with the draft, free agency, not free agency, but like what they're looking at. You know, how many mock drafts have you seen people put up where they have us picking Brock Bowers at 15?
Shit, all of them.
And so, you know, we see all these scenarios. We see like scenarios where people are trading picks, trading down, trading up in the draft. But one thing that I haven't seen is a lot of who we should potentially target in free agency, right? And it kind of had me thinking that, why are we solely looking at the draft when we know that there's 3, maybe 4 specific needs that could potentially be addressed with a mixture of free agency and the draft? So I just not yet, Harish. Not yet, Harish. Not yet,
I know
Harish.
why.
But so the thing is, so like, do we just not care about it, or are we just conditioned to believe that we're just not really going to do anything about it? And Harish, go ahead.
Both.
Fantastic. Thank you for that insight, sir. That was insightful. That was amazing.
That was the kindest thing you ever said. That's the kindest thing you ever said.
I mean, it is, but we're conditioned to not trick ourselves to believe that this is going to be a thing.
Yeah.
And secondly, we just don't do it. So why are we getting hyped over something that we just don't do? Ballard's biggest moves as a GM have been trades for top talent.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? We haven't had a big free agent signing. He acquired DeForest Buckner for a first-round pick. So I may argue that's not a good move, but at the time, that team was projecting, this is pre-Andrew Luck injury, it was projecting in a way that they were probably a DeForest Buckner away from being a real title contender.
Yeah.
Right?
Gilmore was a signing.
Gilmore was pretty good.
But he was a signing. That was last year, right? But again,
2 years ago.
2 years ago. That was assuming, his offensive line didn't fall off of a cliff over an offseason.
Yeah.
And Matt Ryan would actually be decent.
Right. Matt Ryan knew how to throw the ball to everyone on his team. But neither of those things panned out. We're still conditioned outside of those two things. Matt Ryan was assigned after a trade. Carson Wentz was assigned after a trade. DeForest Buckner was assigned after a trade. We trade down in the draft every damn year, basically. There's a lot of talent in this draft. My biggest fear is knowing Ballard. He probably eyes in on a guy that he really likes. And if by 12 or 13 he's still not off the board, he feels like he can get him. I see him trading down for more picks more than he trades up or stays where he's at. Because that's just what Chris Ballard does.
I agree. I really agree.
And I'm scared as hell. If he does, let me add that as the fourth thing that should get Ballard fired on the spot.
So, all right. So then, now, I know that generally it's just we go for trades, right? But if you see somebody like a Brian Burns out there, why are you not going to do something about potentially going after? Because the thing is, if you know that you have been able to trade for nor draft an edge rusher that has been able to be consistent and apply enough pressure, why are you not going to go after somebody who has a proven track record of being a good consistent pass rusher?
I don't know. There's a couple guys out there now that I'm already eyeballing right now. Leonard Williams is obviously the guy that I think could come in and be that guy. And he's smart, but he's $21 million a year. Is Ballard willing to make that cost?
Yeah, I mean, I like Williams. I know he's a little older now.
Yeah, he's 29. 30.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's just like we're essentially, because the thing is, the prospects for somebody at the age of 30, you're not getting a a 3-year deal. You're getting probably like a two-year deal, and a 2-year deal, especially for somebody like a Leonard Williams, isn't going to look like 2 years, $12 million.
Yeah. But you got Chase Young. He's only 24.
Yeah.
What about the Jalen Jones guy from Chicago?
I thought he was a DB.
That's
what's his name?
Montez
Johnson.
Sweat?
There's a cornerback, the young cornerback in Chicago that wanted to leave.
Well, yeah.
What's his name? Jalen Johnson?
That's Jalen Johnson. Yep. But that's another thing. So the thing is, once again, so we know what are the 3 outstanding things that we think of off the top of our heads that's a need for the Colts this offseason? Cornerback, wide receiver, edge rusher.
Yeah. The same 3 needs that we need every offseason.
You're right.
I mean, listen. Well, no, go ahead, Josh.
I've seen where players, Bucks hired Doc Rivers. I've seen where people have posted about Mike Evans, potentially coming to Indy, but he stated that he want to go back to Tampa anyway. So people thinking T. Higgins. People thinking I saw somebody say we should trade for Hollywood Brown from
from the Cardinals.
From Cardinals, like it's not a bad move, but I'm like we got a short guy, shifty guy in Josh Downs. I don't think we need another one. But hey, who am I? I'm not a offensive coordinator. What other receiver that was available? I mean, I know Calvin really. That's out. We're not going for that one. I forgot. I can't list on my head what other receiver that we could go after in free agency that would help us out in offense. Really help out Anthony Richardson out in offense as far as his development. But I've seen those. But I don't really, like you said, I don't see much of free agency pickups. Everybody pretty much just say, hey, we got 15 pick in the draft. Let's go get this tight end. Let's go get the guy from Florida State, Keon Coleman. Get a cornerback from Iowa.
Cooper DeJean.
Florida State.
No, Iowa.
Oh, Cooper DeJean from Iowa. That's the cornerback.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those are 3 picks I've seen floating around in everybody's mock as a lady.
Yeah. And, and like I said, I'm going to direct this towards Austin. So, like, we know where we are with Ballard. Like, we know where this is. And, like I said, we've seen it time and time again. But I think this is the first year where it's just like nobody's talking about free agency at all. And, it's like I said, it's just like, is there like a certain... and I'm gonna sound like tinfoil hat, but it's just like, is there a certain psychology surrounding that, or it's just like, why are we literally only looking at the draft when we know that there's multiple spots? And if you go into the draft trying to fix multiple spots, that means that there's going to be spots that could end up being weaker than others, depending on where you pick and who you choose.
Yeah, I mean, like you all said, Ballard doesn't do anything in free agency for the most part. And, we get our hopes up every year. There's a big name, and we're hoping we hear maybe we're going to talk to him, maybe we're going to bring him in. But every year we get disappointed. So I think, like, everybody's just looking past it. Like, we're not going to get anybody, so why even think about it? But at the same time, this year should be different because we got a rookie quarterback. And that opens up more that you can spend other places.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this year we should be talking about free agency. But at the end of the day, we won't know what Ballard's going to do until he does it.
Yeah. And I think that's but you know what, it's tough to just like think about, because of the fact that that you're frequently somewhere near being able to just kind of like take that leap. And in the midst of you knowing that you could go ahead and just like the franchise could be turned around possibly in 1 year, and not even turned around, because like I said, 9-8 in a year where many were projecting, 6 wins or 5 wins or basically being under 500, that you're ahead of schedule. But now you have to kind of speculate, just be like, okay, well, are we going to go about, getting the guys that we need in a way where we're going to make sure that we're taking advantage of the fact that we did better than we could? Because the one thing about this team now, more so than anything ever before, is the fact that now you know what you have in terms of this team. You know what you have in terms of the coach. So now, you're not walking into a situation with the Chiefs where, oh, well, yeah, I would love to go to the Chiefs. It's just like they're successful, whatever, but they only have $23 in salary cap space. Like, this is a team that has the potential to do more, but, you can kind of say it's just like Ballard's approach is, it's very, very stingy.
It's still the same, yeah.
It's very, very stingy in nature, because of the fact that he just continues to not go outside of the draft to do what he needs to do. And I mean, like I said, he'll sign some guys here and there, but
do y'all think, because this is my theory, do y'all think winning was the worst thing to happen this year? Being that, being 9-8 and Ballard saying that we won with less, with the same talent as last year, that he figured that we don't need a Barnes from Carolina. We don't need a Mike Evans. We don't need a top tier player at whatever position it is, because with him, he does that hey, I'm only going to offer you 2 years. I'm not going to offer you the third year. I'm not, he's that type of GM because he feel like a player that balled out like Mike Evans. I think he had 1,000 yards every season. He feel like Mike Evans should still prove it type thing. Like, yeah, you're not worth this so much. You need 2 years, 20-some years, 20 million, a season type thing. Like stuff like that. And that irks me because Mike Evans like, well, shit, no, I can go back to Tampa and get more than that. And we went further than you guys. Stuff like that. And that irks me because he actually pushed him away in his negotiation.
If he thinks that Mike Evans needs to prove it after 10 1,000-yard seasons, add that to the list. He deserves to be fired on the spot.
But you get what I'm saying, right? Everybody, years we could have got Le'Veon Bell, we could have got Antonio Brown, but he didn't want to pull the trigger because of whatever his standing in his own way. Other moves, DeVois Buckner was a cast off with the Niners, and they still were good. He got lucky with that. We traded with Kinlaw. We got lucky. We traded Kinlaw to them. Kinlaw haven't done anything since he's been with the Niners.
Yeah. Well, so the thing is,
go ahead.
Yeah, no. So what I was gonna say was, well, with the Buckner situation, that was a money move because the issue that they ran into was the fact that they had to pay Buckner and Armstead.
Yeah,
and so they knew that Armstead was going to be the cheaper option of the two, and so they traded away Buckner. And of course, as you just said, Kinlaw did absolutely nothing, and Buckner just continues to, I'm gonna say, just be a force. Like he's kind of like the anchor of the middle of that line. But like I said, it's just like they knew that they had to do something because if they just let him walk, then they would have got nothing for him. So Javon Kinlaw was the best case scenario. So they do with that information what you will.
Well, they still got nothing. And but that's what I'm saying. Like winning makes it feel like we're clear because we won with less. We won with backup. We won with one receiver doing bulk of the work. We won with the front four. Our front only did the work because our secondary was bad because our GM said that he chose to go young, and being that they had showing promises, he probably felt like we don't need to get a guy, a veteran guy in the secondary. We got Kenny Moore. Stuff like that's what I think about because you feel like we can improve having a veteran in each level of the defense and on offense. Help a guy out and like Pittman. If we didn't have Pittman, I think we lost the game without Pittman. I think we lost against Atlanta. Game we could have won because we didn't have no other receiver step up. Stuff like that. These things that Ballard don't see. He feel like, well, we won 9 games. Which the previous year he didn't want to sign JT because he won 4 games. So stupid stuff like that irks me in his process of year to year. We're going to evaluate our team. Everybody get evaluated. Okay, why is why he's not being evaluated? Because he's not seeing talent that's out here in free agency, and we can get this guy, 1 or 2 guys that could potentially put us over the hump. I mean, look what happened with Houston. They picked up Derek Barnett. They picked up Torque mid-season, and it helped them. They picked up Ward. They had a nice, good secondary. Things like that matters to a young team. They were veteran guys that came and help out. We're not doing that.
Yeah. Also, CJ Stroud throwing for like 50,000 yards also helped too. Because let's just be honest, if Davis Mills is playing QB for that team doesn't do anywhere near as well as what they did. So, yeah.
But their defense improved. That's what I was saying. Like their defense was shit.
Yeah. Yeah. No, go ahead. All right, I'm sorry.
But I mean, just stuff like that, like a young team like that build it. Even the Panthers. Not Panthers. Jaguars. Jaguars won a couple games with Urban Meyer and get Doug and start building, picking up players, added players to their team, and they were successful. Won division with 9 games. So even if it's 9 games with our GM, feel like 9 wins. We did this with a backup quarterback. We did this with our running backs being out, our receiver being out, our line shifting with different combinations. Our secondary had suspensions, stuff like that. He felt like, well, we just went, we could just draft our guys, and we should be in position to move forward and win a division, possibly win a playoff game. That's his process. He don't think a guy like a Mike Evans could move the needle. He don't think a guy like Barnes, like you said, can move the needle on as a pass rusher. He don't think that because those guys gonna command a lot of money when we got to sign guys already on our team?
Well, honestly, that's yet to be seen because free agency hasn't started. Like if we go into free agency and he doesn't sign anybody and he's like, well, we won 9 games, then yeah, like what you're saying is right, but we don't know what he's gonna do. Like he might come out and get somebody like Burns or Evans, whatever.
I think
but we just don't know yet.
I think it's just judging based off his history, though, right? Again, we're kind of in this world to train ourselves to not give our hopes up, just because we know what it is and we've done it in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy did JT. He said, "Well, we only won 4 games," but that don't mean that's his fault. Because your quarterback sucks, your O-line sucks. The team sucks. Your coaching sucks. You can't put that on a running back to why you don't want to pay him. That was he said that in the press conference. That was kind of bad in your negotiation process. That hey, well, we don't want to pay him this amount of money because we won 4 games last year. Okay, we won 9 this year, and he was out a lot of games this year. So what you're going to do for is negotiating with Mike Evans, with the Barnes? What you going to say? Well, we won 9 games. Well, you only need this amount of money. You can't do that. I get what Austin's saying, that we don't know yet. Everything is to be determined. But like you said, 7 years of the same, car dealer salesman. I'm gonna sell you a lemon, and you can deal with that.
Yeah. You could argue though, if we had JT against the Jaguars in that first game, we probably won that game.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's possible. Yeah, it's possible.
No, 100%. We had no running game. The running back fumbled the ball like 3 possessions in a row.
Well, yeah, because and like I said, I think that one was just a complete leg because remember, Zach Moss was out that game too, so we're running with
Deion Jackson.
Deion Jackson. I think Evan Hall played and he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Funk
and Jake Funk. Like it was, that game could have probably gone a little bit better with those. with some healthier running backs in there, except for running backs 3, 4, and 5. So yeah. So then, like I said, and then still kind of keeping up with the front office. Now, we know that Ed Dodds is a name that has come up before, but why do you think it's just like that? He possibly hasn't found a job yet. Because I mean, I know that we're looking from the standpoint of, oh yeah, well he could absolutely just go anywhere. I think a name that he came up, or a search he came up in was the Chargers, because the Chargers are looking for a GM. But with Chris Ballard, and mind you, regardless of how people feel about him, Chris Ballard has still been voted Exec of the Year. I think it was more than once. So if that's not reflecting, why is it that Dodds kind of just seems like an outlier in that case? And then go ahead, Harish.
I was just saying, I think he's only been it just once. What year did he win that? Was that 2018?
I think so. I think that was the year.
Shocking. It was the year Andrew Luck was playing. Yeah.
Yeah, he would come back and play the year. Yeah.
Oh, well, Andrew, that's when he won Executive of the Year. And since that year, he hasn't done anything but make excuses, waste money, waste time, and we're still in the same place we were since Andrew Luck left. That's why Ed Dodds hasn't gotten a job, because he's in the same regime that hasn't done anything for 8 years. Well,
gotcha.
6 years.
So it's strictly because of Ballard not being able to deliver in that way. Then,
I mean, if he's your understudy, right? If your mentor is a guy that can't perform, why would somebody take a risk on the guy that mentored you, that you were mentored from? Does that make sense? Like,
yeah.
If I were coaching Josh, right, and I can in 8 years I can't get Josh to hold on to the football, why would you bring Josh on to your team when I was his mentor, and he still can't get something done? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like,
well, to his defense, they'll be like saying, why would you hire? I mean, now he's in a bad situation, but Nick Sirianni and Frank Wright is not good as a head coach. But you hire, Nick Sirianni, stuff like that. I mean, I get what you're saying, but
it's the same. Yeah, it's the same concept.
Yeah,
I see you. But Nick Sirianni did good. He went to Super Bowl. So I mean,
well, I think
I get what you're saying.
That's the weird thing, though, right? I mean, we kind of talked about that last week. Was why are these head coaches failing when their OCs leave?
Yeah,
I think that's an entirely different conversation. Like Nick Sirianni left, and he went to a Super Bowl, and Frank Reich got fired. I think Sirianni's in a different twice. I think Sirianni's a little bit different because he's in a toxic situation. I just think the Eagles are a toxic organization, and that team drove Doug Peterson out. Yeah, that team drove Doug Peterson out 2 years after winning the Super Bowl.
yeah. Well, but you know, I think with Sirianni, it's a big difference just for the simple fact that I get the whole Super Bowl hangover theory and method and everything, but there shouldn't be that bad of a drop off when your biggest losses were who? Like what was it, Miles Sanders?
Yeah.
Like yeah, I think TJ Edwards, but I think he was before that.
Is it Gardner, the safety?
Johnson Gardner to the Eagles,
Chauncey Gardner Johnson. Yep.
Yeah, they're on the NFC Championship.
But usually, Super Bowl hangover, whatever, is like at the beginning of the year. Like they did great at the beginning of the year and then fell off.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm happy to see Nick Sirianni fail. You know what, it is what it is. I'll say I can say that confidently.
He did it for Frank Reich.
Yeah, he did. He lost for Frank Reich. Yeah, there you go, Austin. I love it. I
was cool with him until he did that stuff in Indy when he came in last year.
Yeah, it was just like, that was completely unnecessary.
Yeah. Woohoo! Yeah, that's for Frank Reich. I know you guys are 4-11, but that was for Frank Reich. We were 4-11. We don't give a shit. Like, honestly, we wanted to lose this game.
Yeah, I'm not sure about Dodds. I guess is his resume solely on what he did in Indy, or do we count what he did in Seattle?
He was the coach in there, right? Or the assistant.
The big thing with Dodds is he's a good scout.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's what they said about Ballard too. And is he going to go if he goes to the Chargers, is he going to just try to build through the draft? Like, maybe people are worried about that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But see, Bella had John Dorsey, though, ahead of him for scouting players, and John Dorsey go out and get those guys. He didn't one got, Ty Hill, Mahomes, all of, Marcus Peters.
Yeah, but they didn't solely build off of the draft. They also brought in free agents.
They did. That's what I'm saying. Dorsey was behind all that.
Right.
But now that Chris Ballard is the GM, and who knows what Dodds, bring it to his attention. Hey, this guy we should sign. This guy should draft. And Ballard said, "No, let's do something else." It can't be more so of Dodds taking the hit on failed projects. I doubt it's him going to get Matt Ryan, him going to get Carson Wentz, stuff like that. Stuff like that. I doubt it's him. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, but I think it's a different type of situation, with the Chargers, as opposed to what it's been with the Colts the last God knows how many years. We've never been in a place where we've been in cap hell. Like, the thing is, right now, the Chargers, because of the contracts that they have, because of contracts that they have with Bosa, because of different acquisitions that they had. I think they have dead money that's still on the books for J.C. Jackson, being that they traded him middle of the season. Like, they're still paying people. And then not only that, but now you're paying Justin Herbert handsomely. Like, I think he's making 50 plus a year.
Khalil Mack
is another one. I think Keenan Allen's money is still on the books as well. They have a lot of guys that they're paying, and just under threat of loss, they have guys that they need to hold on to. Like, they're going to have to figure out how to hold on to Austin Eckler if they choose to keep him. Otherwise, he's going to leave in free agency. So the thing is, with a team like that, you almost have to rely on the draft. But the thing is, the Colts have never been a team that have had to just rely on the draft, because they've had enough cap space to be able to go and potentially sign a free agent acquisition. But there really hasn't been that much, or if any of that, throughout this whole process before the draft goes. I think, like I said, we can probably count on one hand how many people were signed to big deals in free agency. And if we're being completely honest, you signed Gilmore to the deal you signed him to, and he delivered.
You could argue the old GM's mistake in LA, San Diego, wherever the hell their Chargers are at now. The failure was the head coach. That's why the old GM took the hit. I don't think he did a bad job of building that team. That's a really good team. The head coach was just a potato head.
Well, yeah, but I think it's just like it was also the fact that like I said, it's just like it was just the contracts. Like you have people like the problem is that team should have done well on paper. Yeah, well, yeah, that team should have done well on paper.
Yeah,
but the problem was that they were a team that were built for this year to be competitive because now you have a whole lot of money that's tied up in all these different things. And then on top of that, you don't have the funds to be able to do everything that you will possibly need to do to fix that team.
Right.
So, outside of Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, who's worth keeping? Oh, and maybe Derwin James.
He stayed injured a lot too, though.
But once again, that's why I say maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, who's worth?
Do you think they're competing though? You think they may be competing with the other LA team since they share the same stadium?
No, because
didn't they get their own stadium?
No, they have this. They share the same stadium with the Rams.
I think they were building their own stadium.
No, it's probably best. They don't have their fans don't show up.
That's probably that's what I was thinking. Maybe they're getting players so they can have people in the seats. And they fail.
No, because it's more so of a fair weather fan base. Like the Chargers are a fair weather fan base. Let's just be honest. Like people aren't showing up to those games. When people go to a Chargers game in LA, whoever they're playing, you're probably going to see more jerseys of the opposing team there than the actual Chargers.
Yeah.
But you know what? It stinks that like we're kind of still in this boat because, like I said, I feel like we talk about, Ballard moving or Ballard making moves, and it just never comes to fruition. But I mean, I don't know. But
do you think Dodd's staying because Ballard may be out the door, and they keep Dodd's?
I hope that's not the case, because then you're just getting another Ballard.
Yeah.
We don't know that really. Like, I mean, we don't really know what we're getting you really don't. But I mean, you really don't know. Sometimes the system may have a different view that we don't know yet. Everything he give it to Ballard. Ballard takes all the credit for it. We don't know if he's giving to, hey, Ballard, I think we should go this way. And Ballard said, no, I think we should go this way. We don't really know if they're having discussions and they don't agree with things.
Yeah.
Because he gave all the credit to Moneo Brown. I can't say his name.
Morocco.
Yeah, he give him credit for he give him credit for AR. But I mean, what else? I mean, I don't know, man. I've been saying it for a long time. Dodds has to be staying up for a reason because those other jobs, he could have got the Browns job, could have got the Browns, Bears. Right now, I think Raiders. He interviewed for Raiders, interviewing for Chargers. He's been interviewed quite a bit since 2020, I think. 2020, 2019, I think, something like that. He's been interviewed for a lot of GM jobs. He either turned them down or he didn't get the position. And he's always stayed in Indy. I'm thinking I've been saying it for years. He could possibly be the next guy if Ballard get cut this year during season, or if he get fired at the end of the season and they go ahead and just promote within. That's my theory. I can be wrong. I could be wrong, guys. I'm just thinking that it may be something.
He's just holding out. You think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
Yeah. That's terrifying.
But but the thing is, honestly, it's just like I don't foresee it. I don't foresee it being that it would automatically just go to Dodds. I have a feeling that Dodds will probably be out much sooner than Chris Ballard would. I think we've been talking about it for seasons, or for seasons now. I think Reddick is somebody that we've talked about that has been, a name that we want to see but just haven't seen. But I mean, it all depends. But you know what? We're going to be talking more about this during the new season of the HorseShoe Mob podcast, where we will be talking more about this in depth. The podcast will be back on February 20th, but because we know you'll miss us. You can go ahead and make sure that you look out for the announcement of the spaces and for everything Bob Wood says that Ballard needs to go. That's fair. It's fair. It's fair. So you'll be able to see more of us on Twitter. You can catch us on Spaces, and also you can catch us on the YouTube as well with previous clips. And yeah, we'll be back. There'll also be a little bit of a new look. So we're still going to be the same Horseshoe Mob, same guys, but it might look a little bit different. So don't get too worried, okay? Because it's still the same Horseshoe Mob crew. But yes, so we will see you back February 20th. And in the meantime, guys, tell the people where to find you on social media.
You can find me on X at Cookie Austin 2.
Jesus Christ, Austin. What about you, Josh?
You can find me on Twitter at Who Is Josh Senior, and I'm still in training.
Good. You muted yourself. Thank you. All right. Harish, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter at the Uncle Gandhi and Thursday nights on the Longhorn Fan Battle podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest, everything Longhorn sports. By the way, we just beat number 11 Oklahoma in their home floor, just dog walked them. So that's just what we do around here.
Okay. All right, we'll go with that. Yes,
Cool.
and you can find me at CJ's Colts fan on Twitter, contrary to what Austin calls it. And yeah, so like I said, good luck to the teams that are left. We will see you back. And like I said, just keep watching the Twitter page at Horseshoe_Mob. And yeah, and like I said, for the last time this season, we're signing off. We will see you February 20th. And as always, just remember, in case you forget in the time that we're away, that Sam